Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? Episode 7 of the NY Yankee Dad podcast is brought to you by Your Bronx Dentist. Come and meet Dr. Rebbe and his team at two convenient locations in the Throgs Neck and Norwood sections of the Bronx. Schedule your next appointment online at yourbronxdentist.com. How's everybody doing? It's January 21st, 17 degrees out, and 17 years ago, the Yankees signed Hall of Famer CC Sabathia. Remember it very well. It was the Yankees were having a real bad year, 2008, last season of the old stadium, and it was, Yankees were in a bad spot. It was the first time in a real long time missing the playoffs, and a well needed culture change in the clubhouse was the rumor, and in came CC along with AJ Burnett, Mark Teixeira, Nick Swisher was acquired via trade that offseason, but CC came in at the time $161 million, 161 million to 161st Street. At that time, he was the highest paid pitcher, and definitely shoved like it. He was the ALCS MVP, 251 career wins, last of his kind. 134 of those wins came with the Yankees. That's 10th all time for the New York Yankees. He was the ninth pitcher voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame as a member of the New York Yankees, and CC was just the ultimate team guy, the ace, the stopper, and he was all about it. That was CC Sabathia. He was all about it, and congrats CC, and congrats to Ichiro, another former Yankee, but Ichiro, another splendid ball player. When Ichiro came over from Japan, he was like no other, and just remembered watching him on Baseball Tonight, because that's when that's how you used to get the highlights for the West Coast games back then, and just Ichiro just moving and gyrating in ways that you never really seen, and just unbelievable. When you got, if you ever had the privilege to see him in person, playing, he was just unbelievable to watch. Just the constant professional, and you know, arguably the greatest hitter of all time, Ichiro Suzuki, and also Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner, the former closer of the Mets, Phillies, and the National League Houston Astros. Billy, I was talking to a friend, before I came on recording, one of my good friends, and just saying how I remember many years ago when he was a member of the New York Mets. I was able to sit down, by the dugout, just one game that we went to, and just seeing that left-handed gas and the way that ball just hummed in. Billy Wagner was just different. Now you look at the numbers. It was his last year on the ballot, the 10th year, and it was long overdue. He should have been in years ago. The original Sandman, when he was with the Houston Astros, Metallica Enter Sandman was played by him first. And I'll be one of the first to tell you that Billy Wagner was unbelievable and well deserved. Congrats to all three members, into the Hall of Fame, and it's just so surreal, just remembering when these guys, came up, and obviously, I was younger. It's 2025 now, but it was just seeing Cece's whole career. I was telling my wife, we've been together longer than Cece was a Yankee. It's crazy. But Cece was definitely one of a kind. And just to move on, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about in this episode. One thing, it was an article in the Daily News by Gary Phillips. I think about a week or so ago now. It was talking about how 14 members of the Yankees coaching staff are now no longer members of the Yankees. Now, three of those 14 were at the big league level, and Desi Drushel, who was the assistant pitching coach for the Yankees last year, he's going over to the Mets with the same gig. Analyst Aaron Leonhardt joined the Marlins as a field coordinator, and bullpen catcher Colin Thoreau accepted a minor league position with the Marlins. And a few of the other coaches went to the Cubs. defense and base running coaches. Go figure. But 14 coaches. It was a great article. I did share it to my ex, and if you can look at it and read it. It really goes in depth. But there's quotes from Kevin Reese there. The VP of Play Development for the Yankees, and just talking about how 14 players, that's an unusually high, 14 employees is an unusually high number to lose. And it's, some of the guys were lateral moves, some being promotions, but it comes to show. There was a nice excerpt in there too from Mets manager Ramiro Mendoza, who spent 15 years with the Yankees, and one of the few coaches now, a few managers, I should say, that stick to that Yankee way. That if you haven't read that book already, go read it, the Andy Martino book. But Carlos Mendoza and Rob Thompson are two managers that I always joke around. They manage more Yankees than the Yankees, but that's just they were from that old school Bill Livesey, Gene Michael, old school Yankee way that kind of that drifted away a little bit, but the Yankees are sort of evolving into it's a different type of approach, I think. But made it to the World Series last year. We just got to finish it, but just 17 years ago, CC became a member of the Yankees, and that was the last time that parade. It was the last time we saw a Yankee parade, but it's just very interesting that it's January 21st, 17 degrees out, and just I always look into numbers. Baseball is all about numbers. It's just very fitting. But with the coaches, just to finish off on that, um it's kind of it's something that comes to my mind. It just makes you think, all these coaches leave. It's not that they don't want to stay with the Yankees, but you don't really see much Yankee promotion, from within. I mean, Matt Blake was, when he came on, he was from outside the organization, but you don't really hear much of the Yankee coaches coming up, with the majors. It's they're always leaving and bringing their philosophies elsewhere, and it's just other teams want members of the Yankees. I get it. They bring a different type of philosophy, and let's face it, let's be real. The Yankees it's just different than every other team. Everything they do is different, and it's just everything they do is different, and just got to be progressive and with the time. And the Yankees are kind of doing that, but just we see how what I'm interested to see is if the philosophy is going to change. The Yankees philosophy is going to change. You had coaches throughout the organization, like we said, were defense and base running coordinators. So the Yankees this year are preaching the better defensively, more athletic. So you see all these different coaches leaving the organization. Is the mindset going to be the same, or is it going to be a progressive, ever changing mindset? I guess we'll find out. But just 14 coaches is an unusual high number, like Kevin Reese said. But see how it plays out. Definitely see how it plays out. And just to go back to touch a little bit on the Hall of Fame. Now, I just wanted to give my opinion. Um, Me personally, not that the Hall of Fame isn't the top echelon of where the talent goes. When, I mean, a lot of people my age and a little even older than me, there's some players that hold certain records that aren't in the Hall of Fame, and it's a little unsettling for me that I know the circumstances. Yes, it was the steroid era. Like, let's be real here. Players like Alex Rodriguez, who aren't even sniffing 40% of votes, because we know why. And it's just, to be honest, the commissioner of the steroid era is in the Hall of Fame, but the players who were the ones who performed and made the sport what it was aren't getting recognized for what they've accomplished from their abilities of playing big league ball. Yeah, there was a certain advantage they have, but that's not, it's not all of it. It doesn't make you a better ball player per se, but it's not it's a very sitting with me, where you have guys who hold records and who are the best in the sport, who aren't there. Pete Rose, God rest him. Barry Bonds, who's not on the ballot anymore. Alex Rodriguez, and the list goes on and on. And there are some players in the Hall of Fame who, allegedly did take, performance enhancing drugs. It's just I don't know. You have the commissioner of the steroid era in, but the players aren't. Just never really sat well with me. But that's just my 2 cents on the Hall of Fame. But it's still a wonderful, wonderful thing for the players to, get voted into the Hall of Fame. But then that's another story with the baseball writers. But should the writers have so much power? It becomes almost like a popularity contest. But until you have the greatest players who ever played the game, a la, Roger Clemens, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Um, you can't change the history. It's what it was. Whether who did what, who did this, it doesn't matter. You can argue with everyone doing it then, mostly everyone doing it then. It was an even playing field for those guys, and it just made the ones who didn't do it even better than what they were. But we'll just leave it at that. It's just you can't you can't say it's something without putting all of it in there. That's all, that's all it's gonna, that's how I'll finish with the Hall of Fame. And Yankees did make, from the last time we recorded a podcast, it was episode 6. It was about, not long after that, we saw the Yankees signed Miguel Arias. They got Miguel Arias, pitcher from the Chicago Cubs organization. He had, when I looked at it, I remember seeing it was about 70, 73 or 74 strikeouts in about 67 or 68 innings, and through Double A and Triple A. He had a high ERA. It was like a 4.74. I wanted the ERA. One of the things I didn't write down here on my notepad, which I probably should have, but it looks like he has some filthy, filthy stuff, and the Yankees always tap into these relievers where, perfect example was Luke Weaver, was a failed starting pitcher, like most good relievers are failed starting pitchers, and the Yankees are just somehow able to tap into this, unhidden talents that these relievers have. So could Miguel Arias be one of those? We'll find out. It's a minor league move, that move, but you never know. You know how the Yankees always seem to always strike gold with the bullpen, and guys up and down. We're definitely looking forward to Fernando Cruz, with his split finger this year. But let's see what happens. With still the same questions we're asking with the Yankees third base, second base situation. There's 37 spots. The last time I looked, 37 spots out of the 40-man roster full. So what other moves are going to be made? I mean, it was like a barrage of fury of moves the Yankees made after Soto signed with the Mets, and it was boom, boom, boom. Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Devin Williams, the Fernando Cruz and Trevino trade. It was just a barrage of moves in a short period of time. Then, kind of got stagnant, and now it's just the Dodgers signing everybody, and waiting to see if the Kirby Yates signing was actually official. Actually official. It's a joke that the next CBA is gonna be real, real interesting. Most, to me, it seems like the way it's going, if it keeps going this way, there'll be some kind of work stoppage in 2026 when the next CBA comes about. But we'll worry about that when we get there. We're trying to get the Yankees to win another world championship here. I mean, we were so close last year, and it just seems it all ties into the making moves, not making moves. Now, when you look as a whole with the league, the Yankees in the American League are definitely, on paper, the class of the American League, and you can argue here or there, could where, what exactly would you want them to add, to go over the top. Now, me personally, have been, if you've been listening to me, been vouching for Oswaldo Cabrera to get that third base spot. If the Stroman contract is somehow, the Yankees are somehow able to move it, that opens up, a whole new realm of what they could do move wise. Now they could stand pat with the way it is now, because you have guys like Oswald Peraza, who's out of options. So this could be his last go raw with trying to crack the Yankees roster, because if he doesn't make the team out of spring, that's it. DJ LeMahieu, what's going to happen with DJ LeMahieu? Is he healthy? The Yankees are on the hook for a contract for 2 more years. Um, what are they going? I mean, we've seen how he's played the last few seasons, and DJ was a wonderful, wonderful player, a few years ago, but that foot injury just lingered, and it's not. He's a different player than what he used to be. 37 years old going into this season, and wish the best for DJ. Of course, we root for DJ. It's not like we want DJ to not be on the team. If we want DJ to do good and be on the team, but if he can't contribute to the level that he used to, the tough decisions got to be made. Now, you can make the argument, Oswaldo Cabrera. Yes, when he's had his chances, he hasn't really performed for what you want it to be with the bat. Some are saying maybe he should give up switch hitting. I think that's kind of crazy. Just to compare him to another player whose game is completely different than his. Um, I wouldn't do that, but the reports have shown, early in the season that Oswaldo was working from the right side of the plate, and his splits are crazy, crazy different. And he bats, I believe it was over 300 from the left side of the plate, but that doesn't mean that he'll be able to, do that lefty lefty, because he has that mindset of being a switch hitter, pretty much his whole career. And it's Oswaldo's no slouch here. I mean, 2021 he was the double A MVP, an equivalent to double A MVP. But like this, the Yankees could make a trade, and Alex Bregman would be a nice name, to think about, and they can, for signing a trade like Nolan Arenado, Luis Ariz. I mean, many things can happen where we're 21 days from pitches and catches. So wake up tomorrow. If you listen to it in the morning, it'd be 20 days till pitches and catches. And that's the start of what I look at as the baseball new year. And it's, what you'll start to see. I would be shocked if, like the guys we saw, Anthony Santander signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. They finally got one of their guys. Like we were always saying, they're always in on acquiring someone. They finally landed one of their guys. So they got Anthony Santander, who was a bopper from Baltimore, now moving over to Toronto, and Jeff Hoffman, who was originally drafted by Toronto, going back there after two failed physicals. It was very, very interesting. But just look, it goes back to the American League. You see most of the high level free agents on landing with the Dodgers. So, the Yankees, are they going to go? Are they going to, break camp with the roster what it is now? Are we just going to see, one of these days we're going to see an alert? Just like today, we saw the coaching staff. The Yankees announced their coaching staff for the season. Everyone's coming back except Preston Claiborne, who he was a member of the Yankees team in 2013, 2014. He's going to be the assistant pitching coach, which best of luck to Preston. Um, just it's always nice to see a player in some way, shape, or form coming back, and you know the Yankees keeping the coaching staff the same as last year, you know, pretty much. and just see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna break camp, is what other guys gonna be coming in. Are we gonna see an alert just one day of non-roster camp invitees, and you'll see a couple names on there. They're like, oh wow, all right. So like guys who did play in the big leagues and could play important bench roles. Still waiting on that left-handed relief pitcher for the 40 man, but 21 days to go. We'll see what happens. Um, and just want to talk about Bob Uecker a little bit here. The Milwaukee Brewers, a lot of people know, is the Milwaukee Brewers announcer, the baseball legend Bob Uecker passed away at 90 years of age. And I was telling my wife, we were talking about, just the other day, and there was a VHS tape that I had growing up, and I wasn't even I was young. It was when I had it, and it was outdated when I watched it, but it was baseball's funny side up. It was Mel Allen, Tug McGraw, and Bob Uecker, and it was a great baseball bloopers, and one of those things that when you think about it, takes you back to your childhood, and you know kind of makes you remember what drawn you into the game. And Bob Uecker was definitely one of a kind. Some known as Mr. Belvedere, Harry Doyle, Major League, and just a legend, just a bit outside, and just to think that he played he played and called games with Hank Aaron, and he called a home run for the 20-year-old rookie Jackson Churio. Just the span, the lifetime in the game of baseball, and one of the voices of baseball. And a lot of people don't know baseball without Bob Uecker, and it's just very, very different. You see, he's one of the last of his time, and that golden age of baseball. And just rest in peace to Bob Uecker, Mr. Baseball. It was God bless him and his family. And if we hear any more Yankee news, I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna, we'll cut the podcast short right there. I really wish I can come on and break that one more big trade before spring training, or big signing, big acquisition for the Yankees. But are we gonna go in? This is what we got, but still got to fill out some roster here. But once we find out something, I'll let you guys know. And congrats to our forever ace, Carsten Charles Sabathia, CC Sabathia, and we'll see you in Cooperstown. Well deserved to you, Ichiro Suzuki, and Billy Wagner. Have a great night, everybody. God bless, and as always, go Yankees. I'll talk to you.